Hi, my name is Nathan, and today we're going to do a comic book review of Something is Killing the Children, issue number 23, brought to you by Rated Comics. Let's get to it. We begin this issue outside this house. It's Gary Slaughter. This is a brother from issue number 20 in Something is Killing the Children, who was part of Erica Slaughter's initiation. Actually, it's part of issue number 17 through 20, where he takes a huge part in that. The phone rings. It's early in the morning. He's like, hold your horses. Who the hell do you think you are calling me this early? And it's Erica Slaughter on the other line. Come on, Big Gary. You're really going to pretend that you were sleeping? She's in jail, locked up from the previous issue. He asked her, how's the hunting going on in Albuquerque? So given clues that he's the one that did send her off on it, even though she's banned the House of Slaughter, she just renounces the House of Slaughter, she still deals with Gary. And Gary's a blue mask. He's like IT information cleanup. So Erica tells her that she's kept overnight at the sheriff's station. He's like, okay, let me clean this up for you. That way you don't pop up on the house radar, all right? So he asked her, did I pick a good one for you? Meaning, is this good? Is this a good town that I sent you on to hunt monsters that were killing children? Yeah, it's a duplicit type. Gary's like, oh man, these monsters are scary. They take human form and they're nightmares to deal with. It's half the reason why I gave up hunting in the field, because of those kind of monsters. And she's like, yeah, I can handle getting out the station, but this monster, he's like, yeah, this might be more than you can chew, Erica. If you need me to call in the cavalry, I'll try to do so. I'll get a pack of white mask skin on it. She's like, no, that's not what I want. Gary continues to do his thing on the back end to make sure that he removes any trace of Erica Slaughter being there, just to let you know how powerful this organization, how connected they are. So Gary explains like what the reason why he's helping her is because he's doing it is because of how they dealt with you and how they dealt with Jessica, and retirement's boring. And I don't agree how they're dealing with you and how they retired Jessica, the girl that brought Erica Slaughter in. But I'm not just gonna let you sit back and get yourself killed over mommy and daddy issues, Erica. This monster is way too much to handle. Let the white mask do it. Erica's like, Big Gary, look, I'm done with the St. Order of St. George. I'm gonna do this regardless, all right? So do what you need to do to clean up after me, and then I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna kill these monsters. Just find me something I can use. Go to the House of Slaughter library on how these monsters were killed. And Gary's like, I don't know how to do that because they're gonna ask me what I want. I'm looking into this kind of stuff. So Erica just tells him, look, man, just tell them that you're looking for some scary stuff to read, whatever. So police tells her, look, wrap up your phone call, all right? So Erica tells her in her moment just to let her know that she still has this good rapport with Gary, like, kiss the puppies for me every day, all right? I do that, just don't die. I'll do my best. And he has a look in his face like, this is going to be tough right here. All right, I'm done. So Erica tells her brother, I want to talk to the sheriff. Now we're going to skip a couple pages here with Gabby and the bartender. I'll let you guys look into that if you do decide to purchase this comic book. Link in description, by the way, if you wish to add this comic book to your comic book collection. So in Sheriff Carter's office, he looks at Erica Slaughter from New York driver's license. He's like, so you're a reporter from the News Daily, huh? You were on the premise of the Wolf Waters because you want to break the story about the serial killer in tribulation? She's like, yeah, I want to take pictures. Funny because there wasn't a camera in your bag. Oh, says Erica as she sits cross-legs, posturing, figuring what her next line is going to be. But we did find these knives, and he pulls out all these knives on his desk, and she's like, well, it's a serial killer on the loose. I want to stay safe. All right, besides the point, Sheriff Carter says, why do you want to write this story? Well, I don't know. It says something about how there are all these horrors in these little corners of the country that people don't know about. And I want to write something that people should know about. So this is an interesting piece to me. And he looks at her like, you just don't seem like a New Yorker. And I think this is like a flirty moment like with her. Like, there are lots of types of New Yorkers. Have you met anyone from New York? With those eyes. She does those things with those eyes. And he just looks at her like, I ain't buying that shit. Look, I just can't have you breaking into property, says the sheriff. I shouldn't even be cooperating with the press on this, but you're the only press that's here. For whatever reason, nobody else wants to pick up my calls. So this is off the record. I don't know what I'm doing. Someone is killing the children in these hot springs, and these children I've known for their entire lives. Now, I see movies where the detectives who know all the tricks and mastery and trickeries to understand the minds of a killer, but I'm not one of those. I don't put myself in that headspace. I can't understand. I can understand desperation. That's the kind of person I am, but I can't understand madness. And Erica's like, oh, well, I think it might be best to consider it kind of, I don't know, a kind of animal, trying to help him understand, like a predator. Do you hunt, Sheriff? He's like, well, sometimes when I was a bit younger, yeah. So Erica tells her, think of the type of prey it likes. Think of where it can find that prey. You make it seem like we're hunting some kind of monster. Where aren't we? Isn't that what we're talking about? I'm talking about what you're talking about, bruh. So Erica continues the dialogue and asks him how many hot springs are there in Tribulation. He's like, freak, man. I don't even know. Ballpark can say about 15. Then there are a few more that have been shut down, but teenagers tend to use them as hangout spots. We're in a town that's not really a tourist destination, so it's rare when people like you show up. It's not like we're on Route 66 and that people just show up. No, it's a dried up spot. It's a sad dead end detour with some hot water. So Erica's like, okay, well, I hear your part, bro, but do you have a map of the town? He's like, well, perhaps, but we have a cabinet here that hasn't been used in ages, but the sheriff used it to make, keep our case logs and stuff. So maybe this will help you. It's a bit out of date, but hey, hopefully this goes with you, So Erica's like, let me see what I could dig up and find an angle on the story. I won't get into any trouble without calling you first. Yeah, okay. So Erica looks at him like these puppy dog eyes. Am I free to go? Sheriff Carter's like, well, you're not lying to me, right? What do you mean lying? Well, look, he's like, I don't know. I mean, you're not killing these kids and just playing me as some dumb hick fool, are you? And Erica's, look, I didn't hurt these kids, Carter. I just want them to be safe. Okay, then I guess you can go. So as Erica leaves, Bill looks at Erica like, she could serial kill me any day. Bill, get your mind up the gutter. And Bill's like, well, damn, you know what I mean? A man has manly needs, and a manly need needs to be serial murdered by a serial girl. Enough. I'm going to my office, bro. So we get to the airport, and in this issue, there's not a lot of killing or monsters going on. This is just exposition and character building, setting up the tension for when these characters do meet, which I am all for. I have all the faith in the world with James Tynion to bring these two together. So this lady's on the phone talking about this Brit who has no class, and how dare she tell her to lower her tone while she's on the phone and she's watching some stupid ass cartoons with the creepy ass doll. And that's that girl who was hired to kill her as a character Slaughter. So when she gets to the house of Slaughter and she's greeted by Cecilia, she tells Cecilia, hey, you know what? Hold my doll for a moment. Of course. So as that lady on the phone goes into the bathroom, she goes into the bathroom too and gets out, and you can only assume the worst. And she does indicate that, can you deal with cleanups, right? Well, yeah, of course. So Cecilia makes a call, kill all the footage in the baggage claim here at O'Hare Airport, freeze all cellular activity, have a body in the woman's restroom by claim 6. And this girl's like, that's kind of you. Now, she was so rude to say that on the flight about you, doll. And Cecilia's like, okay, this is kind of creepy. So as they walk to the car, she asks her, do you know her well? Excuse me? And this girl's like, no, not the lady in the loo, Erica. And Cecilia's like, well, I've known her since she was very young. You didn't answer my question. And Cecilia's like, well, I did know her well, but she would disagree with that. And now you want her dead. I want what's best in the interest of the Order of the St. George. And I love how each panel here gets darker and darker in tone after each dialogue is exchanged. So Cecilia continues, there was a time I would have been satisfied with Erica being brought back to heal and kept in line, but she's done enough damage. Say it. Just say it. I want her dead, says Cecilia. Well, good. Well, don't you worry, Cecilia. I'm here to make your dreams come true. And that's where we end Something is Killing the Children, issue number 23. I absolutely love this issue, even though we see no monsters or death or gore from what, helps from what I love about this issue. It's great tension building where we get the character building and the story moves forward from when these two actually do meet. And I am curious to see how this monster is going to be attacked and dealt with on both sides. They have to team up. I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm loving this new story arc. Link in description if you wish to add this comic book in your comic book collection. With all that being said, Something is Killing the Children, issue number 23. What you guys think of the comic book? Comment below, let me know. And also, if you like the content we're throwing up, you know what to do. Don't be shy, don't be stingy. Here at Rated Comics, we do awesome comic book reviews, comic book related content with the occasional comic book giveaway. Thanks again for watching. Until next time.